Hello, my friends. Now, as the year is approaching its end, many people are saying that PMP exam is going to change. So, I wanted to answer these queries that is PMP exam going to change really or not? So, short answer I have already given in a video that I posted yesterday that PMP exam is not going to change. There will be no change in PMP exam. Why? PMP exam is basically based on role delineation study. They do the role delineation study, and after 3 to 4 years, they change PMP exam. After 3 to 4 years, PMP exam is updated, and that update has been done on 2nd of January 2021. So let me put it one thing very straightforward. PMP exam is not going to change minimum for 2022. Now, as the practice of PMI says, it will be updated, I guess, in 2023 or 2024. In 2022, PMP exam is not going to change. So now the question comes, what is that all fuss about PMBOK 7th edition? Now here's a very important thing. PMBOK is considered as one of the most important reference guide. And till 2020, exam was actually based 100% on the content of PMBOK. The students who have given exam in 2020, they can testify that they received questions regarding input, tools and technique, output, and those 49 processes. But you can watch all the journeys videos of students who have cleared in 2021, and I have posted almost 150 journeys out of 238 students who have cleared PMP exam. 150 opt to put their journey. Many people don't like to put their journey. So out of all 150 people, none of them has received even a single question on ITTOs or the things like that. Why? Now the question comes why? Because in 2021, PMI changes a fundamental shift. And PMI, the president of PMI, and many other people put this thing on pedestal, put this thing on every medium, and that thing is that PMP exam is not based on PMBOK. Yes, you heard me right. PMP exam is not based on PMBOK. PMP exam is based on exam content outline of PMP. Exam content outline or ECO. The exam is entirely based on that. And it is 100% possible. As a matter of fact, all of my students who are clearing PMP, they are not even looking at the PMBOK. 230 students with 99.5 success rate. They haven't looked at PMBOK. Now, let's talk about how much PMBOK is important and if you love to read books. Let me put the context here. If you Now we have established thing number one, PMP exam is based on exam content outline. So, second thing is that if you love to read books, which books you should read. So, in order to understand that, let's go to, I'll share the screen. Let's go to Google, write PMI reference book or reference list. So, directly you will get a PMP exam reference list. Okay. Now, there are here it is written that PMP exam is not written according to PMP exam is not written according to any single text or spotted by any particular references. Very important thing that exam is not written according to any single reference guide. And PMI does not endorse specific courses and things like that. Okay, so this is the exam content outline. This is something on which exam is based. Let's see. This is exam content outline. Updated January 2021. And These are the three domains: people, process, business environment. Okay, people 42%, process 50%, business environment 8%. And then you have all this task inside them. Now you must be able to understand, for example, let me give 4 or 5 examples. How to manage conflicts. You must be able to understand how to lead team, support their performance, empower team members and stakeholders, ensure team members build a team, address impediments, agreements, collaborate with stakeholders, understanding virtual team, ground rules. So this topic is all about stakeholder communication and resource sorting. Okay, when we come to the process, execute to deliver business value, execution, how do you manage communication, assess and manage risk, engage stakeholder, again, stakeholder comes in, important thing. Plan and manage budget and resources, again, resources come here. Schedule, quality, scope, integrate all activity, how do you manage changes? That's why you get 10 question in changes. How do you manage procurement? How do you manage artifact with methodology to use governance? How you handle issues? How you transfer knowledge? How do you close the project? And then business environment, that is how do you manage compliance, deliver values, support organizational changes. These tasks, as a general, you must know how to manage these tasks in the project. This is the important thing. This is the fundamental thing. Now, for that, you can study many books, and one of the most, like, what PMI give the reference list, these are reference list. The first one is Agile Practice Guide, the Agile Guide that actually came in 2018, I guess, with the PMBOK 6th edition. Okay, and then PMBOK. You can read these books, and then you can read this book, this book, this book, this book, this book, all these books. Essentially a practice guide, essential scrum, a good book, toolkit, 100 tips and techniques for getting the job done. It's a good book also. So the exam is actually a reference from all these things. Again, reference with all these things, but based on exam content outline. Now, if you want to read the PMI material to prepare, which people who want to read the book ask me which book to read. PMI says that you can read all these 13 book. So I recommend that if you want to read book, if you love to read book, you don't have to read book. If you love to read book, you can read PIM book, and here's a static mark. So which book to read? Read 7th edition. But amazingly, and thank you PMI for again putting what I have been saying it for many times. The exam is based on PMP Certification Exam Content Outline. Straightforward. The exam is based on exam content outline, and it goes not the PMBOK guide. It is not based on PMBOK guide. So people putting that exam is getting updated. No, 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 no. Unless exam content outline gets updated, exam is not going to be updated. Or again, it is not based on PIM book or other reference book. So even if you read all this book, you memorize all this book, exam is not based gonna base among that. That's the beauty of PMP. So, a guide to project management body of knowledge PIM book will now be a reference to inform the development of exam items. Now, instead of sixth edition that was used long time ago, if you want to read, they want to say that if you want to read PIM book, so instead of sixth edition, don't read that and try to go with the seventh edition. However, before any exam will be however, before any validated exam item is added to the exam, there is very rigorous and thorough review and fast a field test cycle. This process takes multiple months. So even if you read PIM book 7th now and you are giving exam in January, so still you can get reference, you can read 6th edition, 7th edition, and things like that. So putting that everything back into the context. Thing number one, and the most important thing, exam is based on exam content outline and not on the PIM book. That is the most important thing we should know while preparing for PMP exam. This is simply the most important thing we need to follow. That exam is based on exam content outline and not PIM book. Second thing, let's go for the second thing. If you love to read the book, which book you should read if you are preparing from now till January, February, March? I would say, no, that's a tough thing. If you want to read a book, I recommend don't read a book. You can read my book, that is free book, and that is actually according to exam content outline. But if you want to read PIM book, you need to read 6th edition, 7th edition, and Agile Guide. Yes, 7th edition and Agile Guide would not be enough. And interestingly, I read 7th edition again last night. I slept almost at 6 a.m. after training at 2 a.m. The reason was I want to see am I missing anything, or am I is ATPI material is missing anything. Then I contacted PMI ATP just to reconfirm what I know, but I know this thing. There are things I don't want to suffer confirmational bias. So I again asked ATP. So and they confirmed the same thing. Exam is not going to update. So that's the bottom line. Exam remains the same, and your Bible is exam content outline. I hope I have clarified these things. And I'm sorry, it seems I can see there's a connectivity issue. Maybe my video is not coming so smoothly. So maybe I'll have to make this video again. But you can put in the comment box. Is my message is clear to you or not? Thank you very much and become certified PMP. And if you do tell me. I would love to record your journey and share it with others. Till that, bye bye, namaste, assalamu alaikum, good morning.